GHOne TV, your best experience. GHOne TV, your best experience. GHOne TV, your best experience. GHOne TV, your best experience.
But today he has hair. That's interesting. Mr. Drew there with no case. Somebody says he's gone back. He had the Apempem store. Today he has hair. Whether he went to or is God's gifts. Well, anyway, let's head to Inside Out. On Inside Out this morning, we're opening our phone lines to ask you what's on your mind. A number of issues this week. We started the week with a debate on who is the founder of Ghana. Is it Dr. Kwame Nkrumah? Is it the Big Six? Do we need a particular debate on who the figurehead of Ghana is? Is it a ploy to rewrite history? Tell me what's on your mind. Now, yesterday, the Office of the Special Prosecutor exonerated former President John Dramani Mahama in the Airbus scandal. He says John Dramani Mahama did not connive to receive bribes or was involved in any corruption or corruption-related offenses. However, it came to light that he is government official one. And then yesterday again, the Attorney General says, I will appeal the Court of Appeals decision to free Atufo Singh and Richard Jakpa. What will become of that particular appeal to the Supreme Court? We want to hear from you. Yesterday, again, we learned that the Korle-Bu renal unit has been shut down for about 2 weeks, and according to the grapevine, about 3 people have died. Last year, we saw Korle-Bu renal unit shut down for some months. A number of people died, and today we have that same situation on our hands. There was a 4 million debt. Government cleared it. As around February, there was around 2 million cedis debt. Korle-Bu says its consumables are finished. Why do we keep going back to the same scripts, the same story as a country? What can we do to address this particular issue? These are people's lives at stake. But let's hear from the OSP yesterday during a Meet the Press series.
The OSP confirms the identity of the following individuals. Government Official 1, Individual 1. The individual described as Government Official 1 by the UK court and Individual 1 by the US court is John Dramani Mahama. He is a citizen of Ghana. He was the Vice President of Ghana from 7 January 2009 to 24 July 2012. He was the President of Ghana from 24 July 2012 to 7 January 2017. His tenure of office as the Vice President of Ghana coincided with the time frame of the UK and US investigation of the first Airbus campaign for the sale of 2 C-295 aircraft to Ghana. The individual described as Intermediary 5 by the UK court and Consultant 4 by the US court is known both as Samuel Adam Mahama and Samuel Adam Foster. The processes leading to the purchase by the government of Ghana of 3 C-295 twin turboprop military transport aircraft from Airbus followed substantially the same pattern. Parliament approved the proposed transactions in 2011. In accordance with the laws of Ghana, in the estimation of the OSP, there was nothing remarkable about the deal, and it certainly would not have found its way in the UK and US deferred prosecution agreements and made headlines around the world, but for the involvement of former President John Dramani Mahama and his younger brother of the full blood, Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, and his associates, as recounted in the UK and US deferred prosecution agreements. The OSP investigation found no evidence that former President Mahama was involved or played any role in the procurement and maintenance of the agency relationship between Airbus and Foster and his associates in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. And it appears to the OSP that the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal were actuated by good intentions on the part of the former president. It also appears that Foster and his associates became involved as intermediaries in the Airbus Ghana deal after the decision by the government of Ghana in preference of the C-295 aircraft. Therefore, it seems that Foster's Airbus intermediary role at the time his brother served as the Vice President of Ghana was a case of luckless coincidence that attracted the disapproval of the UK and US authorities. The OSP found no evidence that suggests that the involvement of Foster as an intermediary of Airbus and the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal between Airbus and the government of Ghana amounted to any corruption and corruption-related offense in respect of which the OSP has a mandate. However, it ought reasonably to have occurred to former President Mahama and the government of Ghana that the familiar relationship between former President Mahama and Foster and the direct participation by former President Mahama in the communications and meetings with Airbus officials were bound to raise reasonable suspicions of improper conduct and dealings, notwithstanding any claims to good faith conduct and above-board dealings, especially in light of the fact that during the first Airbus campaign, former President Mahama was the chairman of the Armed Forces Council by reason of his position as the Vice President, and therefore a very key decision maker. Such close proximity dealings by such elected high officials of the Republic and their kin and close associates on behalf of the Republic should neither be viewed favorably nor encouraged, as they give rise to reasonable suspicion of influence peddling and conflict of interest, never mind any intended good faith on the part of the Vice President or the President. Then again, the direct participation of the President and the Vice President on behalf of the Republic in commercial communications and meetings with commercial entities should not be encouraged either, as they expose these elected high officials to the specter of the slightest hint of perceived corruption that may attend international business transactions. The President and the Vice President. The processes leading to the purchase by the government of Ghana of 3 C-295 twin turboprop military transport aircraft from Airbus followed substantially the same pattern. Parliament approved the proposed transactions in 2011. In accordance with the laws of Ghana, in the estimation of the OSP, there was nothing remarkable about the deal, and it certainly would not have found its way in the UK and US deferred prosecution agreements and made headlines around the world, but for the involvement of former President John Dramani Mahama and his younger brother of the full blood, Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, and his associates, as recounted in the UK and US deferred prosecution agreements. The OSP investigation found no evidence that former President Mahama was involved or played any role in the procurement and maintenance of the agency relationship between Airbus and Foster and his associates in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. And it appears to the OSP that the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal were actuated by good intentions on the part of the former president. It also appears that Foster and his associates became involved as intermediaries in the Airbus Ghana deal after the decision by the government of Ghana in preference of the C-295 aircraft. Therefore, it seems that Foster's Airbus intermediary role at the time his brother served as the Vice President of Ghana was a case of luckless coincidence that attracted the disapproval of the UK and US authorities.
So that special prosecutor Kisi Ejebing yesterday at a Meet the Press series, where in the presser he exonerated former President Mahama of any corruption or corruption-related offences with regards to the Airbus scandal. Yesterday we also heard that from the Attorney General that he is seeking to appeal the decision of the Court of Appeal that freed Richard Jakpa and KCL Ato Forcing. I read to you a number of the release that the Attorney General is seeking. It says that a decision and consequential order of the Court of Appeal dated 30th July 2024 acquitting and discharging accused appellant respondents be set aside. The accused appellant in this case is Dr. KCL Ato Forcing and businessman Richard Jakpa. Another relief he's seeking is that the accused appellants respondents be ordered to continue with their defense at the trial High Court. So these are some of the reliefs that the Attorney General Godfrey Adame is seeking in his appeal to the Supreme Court of Ghana over the ruling by the Court of Appeal that Richard Jakpa and KCL Ato Forcing be freed. We have a caller online. You can also call us 0532961218. Tell us what's on your mind. What do you think about the number of issues that have happened, particularly this week? Hi, caller. Good morning to you. Unfortunately, the call dropped. 0532961218. 0532961218. Call us and tell us what's on your mind. I told you that we have resurrected a debate on who's the founder of Ghana. Is it Dr. Kwame Nkrumah? Is it the accumulation of all the other people, the big six? Who is the founding father of Ghana? Is it really necessary that we put an apostrophe before the S or after the S? Hi, caller. Good morning to you. My name is Lily. What's yours? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, good morning. My name is Lily. What's yours?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this GHOne?
Yes, this is GHOne. My name is Lily. What's yours?
Hello?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you, sir.
Yes, I want to speak to your program. Is this GHOne, please?
Yes, please. This is GHOne.
All right, thank you so much. I just heard you say that, okay, my name is Diego Johnson. I'm calling from Tamale.
Okay.
Yes, I just heard you speak about the OSP's statement about the issue of the Airbus. In fact, this is good news.
Okay.
It has come to resolve the contention between NPP and NDC over this Airbus issue. As you said, the tradition is that John Dramani Mahama was innocent, and what actually happened was just by coincidence. So it is actually inconveniencing for his brother to have gotten involved in it. But there is no any hidden issue. There is no any corruption that is involved in it. We all know conflict of interest. That is why the UK government and the US government rejected it. So it is fine. So now we know that John Dramani Mahama is not corrupt. There was no any deal that has to do with any corruption about it. So he is free now. John Dramani Mahama is not correct. Is not corrupt. He would never be corrupt. This is what I want to say about the issue.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too for calling us. You can also tell us what's in your mind. 0532 961 0532 961 We have another caller. Hi, good morning to you. My name is Lily. What's yours?
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Kindly turn down the volume on your TV set.
My name is Malik Thompson.
Malik, kindly turn down the volume on your TV set.
Oh, I don't believe the OSP. He's lying.
No.
He's lying. He's lying. Yeah. He's lying. If there is no corruption, why should the president of the Republic of Ghana be involved in such transactions? There are people who must be involved. Why should you appoint your brother? Why should you appoint your brother? You have the Ghana Armed Forces who can do the transaction. Why should you appoint your brother? I don't believe you say that thing. Thank you very much.
Okay, Malik, thank you very much for also sharing your thoughts with us. Like I said, you can also share your thoughts with us. But please, when you call, kindly turn down the volume on your TV set so we can have a very smooth conversation. I'll take my final caller. Hi, good morning, caller. Hello, caller. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Right. My name is Lily. What's yours?
I'm Mohammed from
I'm not sure I got your name. What's your name again?
My name is Haruna Shahapin calling from
Okay. Talk to us, sir.
Right now, everybody is saying that John Mahama is an angel. There are people who are saying corrupt. John Mahama was corrupt. Today, they can't mention corruption again. They are inside corruption, they eat corruption, they bad corruption, and then everything is corruption. The money, they say, we have the money, but we are hungry. Where is the money? Contractors are dying, everybody is suffering. We want John Mohammed back to come and fix the country.
Okay.
So the old man should pack his things and go.
Okay, caller. Okay, caller. Thank you very much for telling us what's on your mind. That's it. Unfortunately, I cannot take any more calls, but we'll take today's papers and go to the court. Newspaper, the Daily Graphic, which says new gold refinery opens. Vice President demands responsible gold sourcing. Airbus scandal, OSP clears Mohammed. AG appeals are to forcing Jakpa acquittal. To whom can NDC sneak through supposed cracks in the NPP? There's a question. $155 million coastline restoration project launched. Let's head to another premier newspaper. The Ghanaian Times. Airbus scandal, Mohammed others did no wrong. OSP finds no evidence to support allegation after a 4-year investigation. 12 killed, 30 injured in fire outbreaks nationwide between January and June 2024. 21-year-old UMath student crowned Miss Geek Ghana 2024. What's that? Okay. I'd love to read about that. VIP joins mourners to bid farewell to late IGP JY Kofi. Let's see what the Daily Guide is reporting. €5 million Airbus scandal. Mohammed is government official one. That's according to the special prosecutor. Nanakat sought for Adentan Dodoa Road. €2.37 million ambulance case. AG appeals are to forcing Jakpa acquittal. Successful SOEs must thrive on transparency and accountability. Ghana gets gold refinery. UMath student wins Miss Geek 2024. And now to the Chronicle. Banner headline, Airbus scandal, government official is Mohammed, but OSP exonerates him. Baumia commissions Royal Gold Ghana. It's a mouthful. Let me get it right. Royal Ghana Gold Refinery. Akufo-Addo breaks ground for Adentan Dodoa Road dualization. The memory verse this morning, Psalm 17 verse 2. Let my vindication come from you. May your eyes see what it is right. Okay. Vindication is in the womb of time, they say. Now, the Daily Dispatch says top elected officials should not meddle in commercial transactions. OSP on Mohammed's role in Airbus deal. The police will only arrest someone with fake news having national security implications. That's according to the IGP, Dr. George Ekufudampere. Focus on Nigeria's kind wahala on economy. That's a story in page 2. I'm sure you want to grab a copy of the Daily Dispatch. The Daily Searchlight, OSP conducts lazy, shambolic and incompetent probe into Airbus scandal. AG appeals Jakpa to forcing acquittal to Supreme Court. School feeding goes digital. That's it for what the papers are reporting this morning. All rise, let's go to court. Court has risen. Counting has joined us.
Yes, court ready now.
Court ready.
Ready.
So let's head to the courtroom.
The court, yes.
Captain, good morning to you.
Good morning, Lily. How are you?
I'm good.
I like your firing this morning.
You know, it's I told you.
Yes,
it's Friday.
I noticed that really.
I'm always excited. I let nothing dull my shine on Fridays.
Who are you?
Every other thing can wait. Even if you want us to fight, wait.
You can wait.
Yeah, that fight can wait. On Saturday, I'll give it to you back to back.
It's just like those who go on the exercise aerobics. You finish exercising all that before you realize you are back again, eating all the hard food, all the things that you want out of your system, you are taking them back again.
I know, right? But yesterday, an interesting thing happened. You were there.
Yes, yesterday it was an, how do I even call it? So, as you can see on your screen, there's some sacks of marijuana. In fact, over 240 sacks of marijuana, and these
Did it daze you? Were you high?
Not really. I've had a lot of messages in my DM, people calling to us, were you high? And I provided a report on newsroom, and because of the wind in the area, the report wasn't too much clear. And that was
everybody was thinking, well, you're high on something.
I wasn't high at all. So yesterday at the Usu Beach, the registrar of the circuit court led that particular exercise to have this whole sacks of marijuana. So these are wraps that you can see, all of them, and these are a number of them. You see the bags there, and also it includes some cocaine, of course. So these are issues that came to the court between the period of 2020 and 2024, when the people were arrested. In fact, some of them were acquitted and sentenced subsequently. I'm saying some of them were acquitted and discharged because prosecution could not prove it. And others who were found guilty were also convicted and sentenced. And the court seized those items, but the order was for them to be destroyed. So that is how come yesterday the registrar, Mr. Prosper Kingsley Damanka, led narcotic control officials and the police and the EPA to go and then destroy these substances. But then let's go and watch the reports. I was at the scene. Let's watch the report which captures whatever happened there yesterday.
Per the orders of the court, differently constituted, over 200 packs of over 200 sacks of marijuana are being bent here based on the orders of the court, differently constituted. And as you can see, fire has been set into these substances. In fact, there are few of them being cocaine, but majority of these substances happen to be marijuana. And clearly here, as you can see, this is the action that you can see live here behind me. What is happening clearly symbolizes the orders of the court, and it's being taken in accordance with statute. You have the registrars of the court, you have police officers here, EPO officials have all gathered here to supervise this very action. So clearly, that is what is happening right now just behind the Independence Square at the beach, just around the Osu Castle. And what is clear is that these substances, the persons who were arrested and arraigned in relation to these substances, some of them have been convicted and sentenced. Some of them, the police also could not prove the charge or the offenses as charged, and some of them have been freed. But what is clear is that the court seized those substances because they were illegally procured. And my understanding is that if you look at the efficacy, the neutrality or the strength of it is higher than what is required. Somebody will ask that why is it not given to persons who have been given license to operate or to trade in marijuana activities. But the point is that we are being told that if you look at the strength of it, it is higher than what is required. All these cumulated into the court order for these substances said to be marijuana to be destroyed. And clearly the evidence is showing that today the exercise has been carried on, being supervised by court officials. I've seen the registrar here at the beach. I've also seen officers from the police, CID personnel have all gathered here, and in fact persons from the EPA made an appearance here to supervise this very exercise. So clearly that particular orders from the court, the circuit court in fact, have been carried out. And let me give you some perspective in relation to what has been happening here. These are substances that have been retrieved from suspect, from accused persons who have been sentenced. Some who have been convicted and sentenced between 2020 and 2024. So within a 4-year period, this is the outcome of what has been gathered so far that has been subjected to a court order, and the order is that all these substances should be destroyed. And so that is the evidence of the action being taken to destroy these substances. Over 240 sacks of marijuana, 240 sacks of marijuana have been subjected or are being destroyed here, including various wraps, including some cocaine of a sort, and some liquid substances have all been subjected to this destruction. So that is currently what is happening here at the shores of the Independence Square. Just behind the Independence Square, that is where we have this very activity taking place, and all personnel, all officials who are supposed to supervise this very exercise are currently here, ensuring that the right thing is done, the court order is complied with, and nothing but only what the court has ordered for is done. The registrar of the Circuit Court Accra, who is supervising this very exercise, Mr. Prosper Kingsley Damanka, has been giving us some perspectives about this whole exercise.
We are here to destroy some substances, cocaine, dry leaves, that's cannabis. After those cases have been dealt with by the court, judgment has been delivered. Orders were made for their destruction. That is why we are here.
The substances being destroyed today, somebody will say that, can we give it to company or institution that have been given license to trade in cannabis to use them?
As for that one, I don't have that power to say anything concerning that. The people were arrested by the police and then charged and brought to court. And judgment has been delivered in the cases. That is why we are here for their destruction.
So with the efficacy of what is being destroyed here, the chances are that you can easily go high if you get in contact with these flames. You want to go high, then you know what to do. If you do not want to go high, you know what to do. From the Independence Avenue here in Accra, with Alai Nusa, GHOne.
Until I show you no high.
No, I mean,
You know, but a critical question on my mind is, if you look at the direction of the wind,
yes,
it goes into the communities.
community, absolutely.
Yeah. What happens to these people?
So
in the various
we'll be taking
communities?
some reaction from the areas that were probably potentially will be affected by these matter. In fact, that's a very critical question, so that we will know that the proximity within which, or the area at which this very activity is taking place. You can just see there were some buildings just close to the Osu Castle, and that is where the direction. Those who are familiar with the beach, you know that at one point in time there's a clear direction of how the wind, and you can see how the vapor, the smokes from these whole activities, how it is going very fast and all that. So EP officials, unfortunately yesterday we could not speak to them or could not to give us some explanation why they decided that this is the right venue or the right venue for this activity to take place. So we'll be in the community to speak to those who had some form of contact with this very activity. Yes.
It'll be interesting to know what's the outcome is. But yesterday, the Attorney General, days ago, he mentioned that he will appeal the decision of the Court of Appeal to acquit Richard Jakpa and Dr. Kesiela Tufosi. Yes. And indeed, he has appealed that decision.
Yes, so July 30, the majority decision 2-1, the Court of Appeal says that Dr. Kesiela Tufosi and Mr. Richard Jakpa are free. They should go home. They were acquitted and discharged because the court was of the considered view that they were not supposed to even be called upon to open their defense during the submission of no case and all that. So yesterday, as you can see on your screen, yesterday, the Office of the Attorney General, and in fact this very action was filed by the Director of Public Prosecution, Mrs. GHOne Atakra Obo-Obisa, on behalf of the Attorney General. And look at the date, 8/8/2024. 8 August 2024 at 2:25 p.m. That was the time that the Attorney General's office filed this very action at the Supreme Court. So, in effect, all that the notice of appeal is telling you that the Attorney General is dissatisfied with the decision of the Court of Appeal, and it is going to appeal. Now, let's look at what the Attorney General is complaining of. The part of the decision that the Attorney General is complaining of is simple. The majority decision and the consequential order that Dr. Atufosin and Richard Jakpa are acquitted and discharged. And what is the ground? In fact, it is stating some grounds within which it thinks that the majority erred or did not do the right thing. And this is what it is saying. Then if the director can go back, I'll take you through what absolutely. So say the majority of the Court of Appeal misdirected itself in the application of the fundamental principles regarding the standard of proof required in determining whether a case has been made for the accused persons to answer. So that is one of the grounds that the Office of the Attorney General is laying, for which reason it is going to the Supreme Court to subject the decision of the Court of Appeal, the 2-1 decision, to scrutiny, to have it reversed. So that is the first ground. Under ground A, it's been stating some of the things that the Office of the Attorney General think that when the Supreme Court look at, they'll probably reverse that particular decision based on what has happened and all that. And so you could see clearly, so these are the particulars of the mixed direction that the Attorney General is complaining about. So that the majority decision failed to give due regard to the fact that whether a prima facie case has been made by the prosecution is the true standard required in assessing whether the prosecution has made a case for the accused persons to answer. Number 2 is saying that the majority decision failed to give due consideration to the case of the prosecution as required by law in determining whether there's a question for the accused persons to answer. And then the third one is the majority on the Court of Appeal unnecessarily dwelt on the possible defenses for the accused in determining whether a case has been made by the prosecution. And so these are some of the things. And then the fifth one is talking about the fact that the majority's consideration of possible defenses for the accused persons showed that the accused persons indeed had a case to answer, and the trial court was justified in calling on them to open their defense. So these are some of the things that the Attorney General, Godfrey Adami's office, has been stating in relation to why they are going. Absolutely. These are the grounds that what the Attorney General is saying form the basis of him going to the Supreme Court. So let's just go to the last slide, and I'm telling you what the Attorney General is seeking from the Supreme Court, and relief sought from the Supreme Court. And it is simple, that the decision and the consequential order of the Court of Appeal dated July 30, 2024 in acquitting and discharging the accused persons. And so let me just offer some education here. You see that we have the accused person / appellant / respondent be set aside. So this is telling you that the case has traveled some distance from one court to the other. So first, the accused persons were at the High Court. So once there's an appellant there, it means that somebody has appealed. And which people appealed? It is the accused person. So in this case, the accused persons are appellants. Then
they appealed the Court of Appeal.
Yeah, they went to the Court of Appeal, appeal against Justice Ifeasewa Sariboche's ruling. And now they are respondents here because the Attorney General has now gone to the Supreme Court. So the Attorney General now becomes the appellant here. That is how can you see that the respondent here now refers to the accused persons, and they are saying that that decision of the Court of Appeal be set aside. And the last one that the AG is seeking is that the accused persons or the appellant, the respondent, be ordered to continue their defense at the High Court. So you notice that at the point in time, Mr. Jakpa is in the witness box. He's done, but he's calling his witnesses. It was that stage that we got to that the trial ended by way of the Court of Appeal by a 2-1 majority decision is saying that, in fact, they were not supposed to even be called upon to answer any question, because if you look at the face of the testimonies, the testimony adduced by prosecution witnesses, there's nothing for them to answer. The real people who were supposed to be arraigned or charged were left off. And you cannot bring these people. But the Attorney General is saying that we are going to appeal. For which reason? Yesterday, they filed the appeal. But there's a legal vacation. So people are wondering why come legal vacation is on and they still filed an appeal. Yes, the registry of the courts are opened. So when you go there, you'll be able to file your case. But what is clear is that the earliest time that this case will be called in court should be in October, when they are back from the legal vacation. So that is one thing that people should get. From now to the end of September, all that we have to know is that the Attorney General has filed this very action, and then whatever will happen after will be after the legal vacation. So that is what's been happening, even though the legal vacation is false. The Attorney General is saying that, true to his word, that he's going to challenge the acquittal and discharge of Dr. Kaseo Atofosi and Richard Jakpa, his father. But as to whether he will succeed is also another question that time will tell.
Anyway, time will tell. Thank you very much. That's Murtala Yunusa with court today. Let's bring you a recap of the words we've brought to you this week by way of Word of the Day.
Here is a recap of the words we brought you this week. On Monday, we brought you Otios. On Tuesday, we brought you Croon. On Wednesday, we brought you Preen. And on Thursday, we brought you Juge.
So those were words we brought you this week. Look forward to these words, new words every day, as we help you improve your English language writing and speaking. Let's take a quick break here. When we return, our usual suspects are here. We sit to discuss issues of national concern. Stay tuned. Show. This is still GH today here on GHOne TV. It's not time for the weekend review. Usual suspects. One of them we have not seen in a very long time. He was dodging us, but thankfully our 10th anniversary has brought him. This morning I have Nana Kwesi-Boete. He's a private legal practitioner and our very own Ibrahim Alasan. He's the head of political desk here at the EIB Network. Today he's beautifully clad in his styrofoam shirt to mark the occasion of our 10th anniversary. 10 years on, 10 years more. We'll continue to impact positively in society. We'll continue to give you excellence that we have given to you over the years. Please come and celebrate with us. Today our doors are open. We have a beautiful fanfare going on. We'll have beautiful speeches. We'll tell you our story so far and where we are headed in the next 10 years and more. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Yeah, how are you doing? Council, you deserted us.
Yes.
So.
I mean, we're getting to the end of the legal year. So,
Yes.
IB knows why I was held up. That's true.
Okay.
And since then, I've been here, though.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Once.
Yes. You've been here.
See?
But now that there's legal vacation.
Yeah, there's legal
Don't worry,
vacation.
I'm resident here now.
we accept that.
Yes.
Yeah, we accept that.
Yeah, but legal vacation doesn't include, it doesn't stop anybody from going to court to file a process, right?
No.
You can go and file a process.
You can go and file.
So the AG is allowed to go and file a process.
In fact, these processes are also time bound. And time doesn't stop running in respect of those appeals during legal vacation.
Okay,
so
we'll talk about all that and more here on the Breakfast Review. Critical thing I want us to address this morning because it borders on health. They say health is wealth. Yesterday, we learned that once again, the renal unit of the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital has been shut down, and this shutdown has been going on for the past 2 weeks. Unfortunately, according to reports we are picking up, 3 people have died. We'll ascertain that in our subsequent belts. But this is cause for worry. As around February 2024, we learned that the Korle-Bu the renal unit has accumulated another 2 million cedis debt. 4 million cedis last year. Government came to the rescue, was paid. Now 2 million. What can be done? How do we address it? Is there a puzzle that we're missing in all of this? Good morning, gentlemen, once again. Let me start with you, Council.
Well, it's sad. And why so? The thing with the renal unit is that you have people suffering kidney failures who need dialysis. Without it, they can't live. They will die.
Yeah.
And, with dialysis, you have people sitting here just like you and I. And yet, the problem is that if they don't get the dialysis, they will die very quickly. And so it is critical health care. It is critical. In fact, you will compare, the place where they do dialysis to the places where they have life support. Dialysis is like something almost like, life support, because without it, you are dying.
That's true.
And I have been a little worried about the way we've managed the one we have in Korle-Bu. There are many places in developed countries where a dialysis center is not a big deal. You walk any distance, you find one. We don't have that luxury in Ghana. And so Korle-Bu is one of the few places, if not the only, that they have it. And so if the dialysis unit at Korle-Bu shuts down, people don't even have alternatives, and it's irrespective of whether or not you have the money. Even if you have money and you want to have the dialysis, but the place shuts down, you watch yourself dying slowly, and there is nowhere to seek, reprieve and refuge. Now, because of its nature and the critical nature of it, I would think that the managers of the facility would manage it in a way that will not give rise to this frequent shutdown. But of course, the problem has been political interference. The place was accumulating debt. I don't know why it is government that seems to be setting the price for how much it will cost you for dialysis. The truth is that these the reagents they use for the dialysis are imported. We don't manufacture them here. And because they have to procure them, the cost is set. So if it will cost you 1,000 cedis to do a session of dialysis, that is how much it will cost. And if government decides that, oh no, even though it will cost you 1,000, charge 700, you're making 300 cedis debt on every dialysis session. That debt will accumulate. And it's not as if government gives money for subsidizing that. And so, yes, I can understand when it becomes a public cry that, oh, the renal units are shut down and people start, agitating, people are dying, and then government intervenes and say, oh, we'll pay the debt. Government will pay, place will open. If you don't set the right price, debt will accumulate again. If government wants to make dialysis free, and government decides that we will absorb cost of dialysis in Ghana, and that is if we have the money to be able to do it and sustain it, then by all means let government do it. But if government can't afford it, then government should leave it for the people running it, to run it as a business. What happened was with that intervention that Honorable Ajimamenu made and caused the place to open when measures had not been put in place to determine how to sustain its operations, and it was still underrunning the cost of the sessions of dialysis. That would obviously accumulate debt, and as the debt accumulates, the people who have to give you the inputs won't give you those inputs, and you will have to shut down. It is worrying because, see, it's true, there are people who cannot afford dialysis. I know someone very close to me who has died very recently from kidney failure, and the fact is that not everybody can afford it. And so, like cardiac problems, if you get a heart problem and you need a heart transplant, the cost of a heart transplant is very high. And if your family and people can't raise the money to take you through it, you will die. If you have liver problems, organ failures happen all the time and people die. It is sad and unfortunate, but the truth of the matter is that if we use emotions to deal with practical business problems, we create bigger problems. What you have now is a non-functional unit, which means that even the people who have money still can't access the service. We should not get to that point. And so I don't know what we will do. There is no puzzle. Truth is that we will have to remove political interferences from these kinds of critical healthcare services and be practical about it. If government wants to set some fund aside to help needy people, let government do it. If government wants to take the full cost of doing it, let government clearly tell us. But the interference where government wants to set the price and set it lower than the full cost recovery that is required results in these kinds of problems. And I don't know which one is better, whether to allow the facility to continue to run so that those who can afford it can continue to access it, or for government to force it to give service to everybody so that it will shut down frequently. I would prefer the former though.
So another suspect has joined us. Audu Mahama is the managing editor of the Custodian Newspaper. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm managing.
We all become managers.
I'll call back on this morning. You see the document?
Yeah.
Today is African Print Day, right?
I think so. Well, we're all in African Print.
Oh, yeah, great.
That's an interesting one.
Good.
And we are celebrating 10 years, so hey,
Yeah.
why not?
Wow.
We are discussing the shutdown of the Korle-Bu renal unit once again.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad that we learned from the president of the Renal Patients Association that 3 people have died as a result. It's something that we said to ourselves that it should not happen again. Last year we saw the unit shut down for months. We're agitating. We journalists were all over the place asking questions. Government said, okay, you have 4 million accumulated debt. We're paying it off. As at February, we have extra 2 million accumulated debt. What can we do as a country?
This is sad. So it's been shut down because of 2 million.
It's been shut down because they don't have consumables.
Okay, let me say good morning to viewers. I think I came late today. I was in car park trying to get a particular document, but I didn't get it, so I had to come inside. It's so sad. Why? why would a vital units like that be shut down because of 2 million? I don't see it. I think government said it was going to pay the 4 million that was accumulated, and that government was going to take care of those who will be going to the place. Was that the announcement 18
to 59?
Yes. So what has happened to that?
Below 18 and then above 59.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you are between the brackets of 18 and 59, there's a subsidized dialysis for you.
Subsidized?
Yes.
I thought it was going to be full payment.
No.
So if it is subsidized, is government paying the subsidy? If it is paying the subsidy, why have they accumulated the debt? Or is it that the people who are supposed to, the people were already paying anyway?
Yes. Yeah.
Now you say that you are going to subsidize. So where is the subsidy? If there is subsidy, why is the place shut down? Is government not paying the subsidy for them to work?
You know, I listened to the man who mans the renal unit, and he stated that the cost of dialysis that patients pay is more than what they actually accumulate during a session.
Yes.
So it's like twice what they accumulate.
Okay.
So if a patient pays for half of it, who pays for the other half?
If government says that it's going to subsidize, the government should pay that. It is a critical unit that should not be shut down. Many people are suffering from this sickness. I think something immediate has to be done. Look, Minister for Health, Okoboy, is a young man, somebody who is very active. I think he should move quickly to save the situation. We cannot continue like this as a country. This is a critical place that we should not allow it to shut down even one day, even
for hours,
for 1 hour, even seconds. It saves lives. The place saves lives. If you don't do it, how much are we going to spend? What is so much to spend to save lives? What is so much to save lives in that unit? I think government, Minister for Finance, Health Minister will have to act today, immediately, to save the situation. And I'm sure if he contacts his colleague minister, he's also a young man who has just come in. They should be able to salvage the situation and get the place running. Look, we are all. You may not. Look, let's. It's sad. Look, this thing, we were here the last time, and this thing came up, and a few months down the line, and the place is being shut again. I think it's not good enough. It's not good enough for government and as a country. It is not good. Government should do something about it. Health Minister, my good friend, Afioye Robami, Ofane, Femonoko, no save situation. Femonoko, Ananabu. Anana action, Ofio action, Ananabu, Femonoko, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, Femonoko, Lebine, Anouanoe.
Okay, Omanyablau. Ivy.
Yes. Okay, so it's unfortunate. I was excited to learn that the 4 million had been paid because I was very pessimistic that it was going to be paid. So kudos to government for clearing the 4 million. But that was a symptom of a problem. And so once we didn't tackle the root cause, obviously it was going to come back to haunt us. What was it? It's about the fact that we import virtually everything for the dialysis session, right? The consumables. And government slapped taxes on it. The taxes are still on the consumable. That's what is making the consumables expensive. So as part of the solutions, we were supposed to take off the taxes on the importation of the consumable. That will have driven down the cost of a session.
And that should be easy to do.
That should be easy. That shouldn't be difficult
to do. Because the money goes to the government. The money is supposed to go to government. If government says that it's going to subsidize, that should quickly be taken away.
Exactly. So
Parliament will have to do that.
And Parliament is asking to reconvene
so that
they can even give tax waivers to persons under the one district, one factory. This should be an easy thing.
See, if no tax waiver has been brought before Parliament, Parliament cannot.
That's what we are calling on government. Yes. That's what we are calling on government.
Yes, so that ought to have happened. Recently, there were some adjustments relative to the fees. And even the renal patients were crying that was quite expensive.
It's under recovery.
That's even under recovery, even with the upward review of the charges. And then, of course, the National Health Insurance then stepped in. And that's another problem I foresee. They can only reimburse the facilities after, say, 1 month. So the patients are supposed to do, patients who are covered by the free renal services or the dialysis services will have to go get the services. After a month, the facility will then have to send
a report,
a bill
to the health insurance authority for the payment to be made. Within that 1 month.
What happens?
It takes more than a month.
That's the point. No, I'm just being magnanimous. Yes, I'm just, because no government release comes in 1 month. That one there, everybody knows.
And the monies don't come ahead of time.
That's the point.
Because you have to forward the bill for them to know, okay, this is how much you accumulated within the 1 month period.
And so who pre-finances?
Exactly. So here is the solution. I think Dr. Boaji Da Costa and his charges at the Health Insurance Authority, because of how critical the service is, and the fact that in less than 1 year, the Korle-Bu renal unit has shut down again, there's a need for them to front load that money. You put the money in some account somewhere and let the facilities, as and when they will offer those services, use at the end of the period. They can then tell how many people got the services free of charge, and then you can do your mathematics afterwards. Because if you leave it to the facilities, chances are they will not have the money, and these people who are supposed to benefit from the free renal services will not. They will say that the consumables are in short supply. We need money to restock, so pay. And so they should just meet and trash out these things. And I agree with Audu when he calls on the health minister to step in. At the point he was the CEO, he was the board chairman for this same Korle-Bu teaching hospital. So he should just call the people that he was supervising over, let them sit down, and by the close of
so
day
it means he has better appreciation of the
he
situation.
understands this better. He's a practicing medical doctor. And he understands.
He's headed these institutions before.
Exactly.
And now he's the superintendent minister.
Exactly. So they should convene a meeting this morning. It must not be a physical meeting. They should just do virtual meeting, a Zoom, and then ensure that some funds are released, let them restock, and then the facility should be reopened. Already, it's bad enough that somebody has a renal disease. It's a disease that is more or less like a death penalty pronounced on you. Like, sign your death warrant, because there's no way. See, even the rich are feeling the pinch relative to how much you have to cough up for your treatment.
Because, listen, people go for dialysis sessions sometimes 3 times a week. And how much do they pay? Cost of transportation. Beyond the dialysis, there are other medications that you need to purchase.
That you need. And you see, many people don't even understand what this process is all about. It's about impurities in your blood, in your system, that you are unable to use the conventional way of removing the impurities. So they have to virtually wash your blood. They are washing your blood of fecal matter and or urine and everything, because your system is not able to do it on its own, because you have a kidney problem. That is how crucial it is. So if you are unable to go for a session, the impurities remain in your system. Let that sink in. That's how exposed these patients are. So whatever we can do as a nation to at least help them prolong their lives, why not? Let's do it.
Quite sad. I mean, this morning we're appealing to the health ministry, to the finance ministry. Listen, these are the lives of people at stake. This is our human resource base that we're losing to these non-communicable diseases. Let's have a holistic approach to this. Anyway, let's move on to our next topic. Yesterday, Ibrahim, you were there. The office of the special prosecutor exonerated former President John Dramani Mahama. However, in his exoneration, he was named as indeed the government official one. Ibrahim, you were there.
Yes, I was there, and I must say, Dr. Kissie Jabin is a good script writer. I understood why they say some lawyers write judgments for judges. But I'm told, right? So a judge would then conduct the case.
Please, I don't know about it. I've never heard that.
No, so what I mean is this. It's a legitimate thing, right? The judge
see my denial.
The judge conducts
his swift denial.
The judge conducts the case, gathers all the evidence, right? But in putting pen to paper, right, and how you cite authorities and here and there, you might have to fall on somebody's expertise, right? And that person might just be a lawyer.
It is unacceptable. So you can't even, in fact, no, but there is history of, a judge having been, removed because there was evidence that somebody had written his judgment for him.
Okay.
It is not acceptable for a judge to cede the role of writing your judgment to someone else.
Okay.
Somebody can help you with research if you so choose.
Yes.
But nobody can write your judgment for you. It's unacceptable.
Okay.
It's unlawful.
Yeah, but the person can help you with research. Okay. That's understood. Yes. So, and I'm sure the NDC people who were watching yesterday were sitting on tenterhooks. Because how he started and how he went to the SFO report in the UK, went to the report from the authorities in the US as well. Yeah. He developed the story based on all the allegations they're in the court document, right? And then he came to the fact that this investigation was started by Martin Amido after a referral by the president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. So when the court document became public, the president then charged the OSP to investigate. So the referral was done by the president. Now, Martin Amido has started something. If you remember, he issued a red alert, Interpol red alert, on Adam Mahama and then the two others. That amounted to nothing. In fact, per what Kisiaj have been told us, the Interpol didn't even send a fly to go after anybody. After that, letters were written to the authorities in the US and the UK to furnish the office with full detail of the investigation. They didn't mind us. Right, they didn't mind us. So what the office had to work with was what was in the public domain, the court document from the UK and then the US, relative to the indictment against officials of Airbus and what they said in court. But when Kisiaj Jabin took over, what he did was to get an interview with Adam Mahama and the two others who had been mentioned in the document, the court document. And then on the 5th of January of this year, the office also invited GHOne Mahama and then interviewed GHOne Mahama. So it was on the back of this process that yesterday the details of the investigations were made public. A few pointers that I took. So first of all, the authorities in the UK and in the US were not cooperative.
Okay.
The court documents were mainly from the testimonies of officials of Airbus. So the OSP worked with two expectations relative to payments that were made. The expectations of those who paid the monies as against the expectations of those who received the money.
Yeah.
Now, if you come to the expectations of those who received the money, they were receiving payment for legitimate job done. So you serve as an agent. Adam Mahama specifically, the first Adam Mahama served as agent or an intermediary to Airbus, not just for the Ghana transaction, to other countries in Africa. Now, it also became public that as at the time Adam Mahama got involved, the deal had already been secured. So Airbus did not require Adam Mahama to facilitate anything because the deal had been secured. But his involvement was way beyond Ghana, not just limited to Ghana, right? But as at the time he got involved, per what the special prosecutor told us, the deal had already been secured. So then it nullifies any suspicion of conflict of interest or influence peddling. Now, you come back to what the officials of Airbus told the UK and the US authorities, that what they paid, monies they paid were bribes. Okay, but those who received the monies were never asked to come and then tell their side of the story. So the law of natural justice, of fair hearing, or hearing from the other side, as the lawyers will say, never existed. But it was the office of the special prosecutor that got to hear from the other side. And it established firmly that, first of all, there were contracts. There were contracts that were signed between, let's just say, Adam Mahama, because this whole story was about Adam Mahama. There were contracts between Adam Mahama and Airbus for him to render a service. The service was rendered and payments were made, legitimate payments. Whatever infractions that might have happened in the US and in the UK were for the officials of Airbus to answer. in the US and in the UK. Again, the special prosecutor talked about the involvement of GHOne Mahama. That as a vice president, he was the chairman of the military council. So as a chairman of the military council, if the military is going to procure equipment, would definitely play an active role in it. The OSP equally comes to the conclusion that as far as the processes in Ghana are concerned, the deal followed through every single process. The request from the military through the council, the agreement being taken to Parliament, Parliament ratifying the agreement before these aircraft were imported. Now, what was of profound instruction is also the point that was made about GHOne Mahama knowing, should have known that because the brother was involved at a point, there was that possibility of somebody raising an issue of conflict of interest. Yes, regardless of how genuine his intentions were. Right? And so, to what the OSP, the SP said, the special prosecutor said, it was not surprising that people had raised suspicions of a possible conflict of interest. But after delving into the matter, it was established that the issue of conflict of interest did not arise at all. But moving forward, government officials, right, like the president, should as much as possible insulate himself from said direct dealings. The special prosecutor said that. But still comes back to the conclusion that this was not the case of somebody taking bribes and the bribes finding their way into the hands of the president then, John Dramani Mahama. And how easy should it have been for the special prosecutor to find out if indeed monies were paid from Foster Mahama to John Mahama? It would have been very simple. You just trace the money. So the monies were paid into the account of Foster Adam Mahama. Was there any transfer to John Mahama? That it's easy for you to establish that. The special prosecutor comes to the firm conclusion that, first of all, no bribe was paid. That is what he says have been established. No money moved from any of the parties in the deal to John Mahama. And that John Mahama's involvement was to ensure that the deal was done and was done on time because the military needed those gadgets. That's the firm conclusion. Yes, of course, the OSP also established that, and I'm talking about the office, that government official one, that we've all been told it's Mahama, it's indeed Mahama. But that even begs the question. If you hear government official one, how do we describe our presidents here? The number one gentleman of the land, right? So it begs the question. From day one, I'm not sure it was lost on anybody. I'm not sure it was lost on the president that the referral to the special prosecutor for investigation is because the president knew that John Mahama was government official one. But the allegation was that there was an impropriety. The special prosecutor says there was no impropriety. Simple. I think this case should be done and dusted. I've heard people raise issues about the timing and what have you. Okay, so they wanted us to go into an election again with this hanging on the back of everybody, the country, and what have you. Mind you, at every point in time when the special prosecutor was giving his update on the cases that he was pursuing, the Airbus scandal features prominently. And so if the office is done with its work, it's incumbent on the office to make that known to the public. Right? So basically, that's it.
Counsel?
Yes. I actually don't know why this is such a big story. And it has been for a long time. For the most part, I think that we like to fleece on these kinds of stories for political gain. Otherwise, this government official one and Airbus scandal, it's no scandal. Yes. You see, in the UK and in the US, the reason why Airbus was indicted ostensibly was because the documentation would show that they had officially declared less amounts than Ghana paid them for the purchase of those aircrafts, those two aircrafts.
So they underdeclared.
Yes, and because they actually received less because a portion of those monies had to be returned. But the treatment of those monies, so for instance, if you returned money and you said, if you received $2 million and only 1.5 million was within your account and was dealt with for your tax purposes and your accounting purposes, then you will be asked what happened to the 500,000 that is not dealt with here. And they say, oh, we had to return that money to Ghana. And per their treatment of that money, it was obvious that would look like a bribe. But then the question is whether in Ghana, the return of that money constitutes a bribe. And if somebody did work and there was evidence that there was a contract and the person was entitled to that money, in the US, that would look like a bribe because the money wasn't properly treated. But in Ghana, that wouldn't look like a bribe. And these matters were not matters that were beyond general knowledge. There were documentations to prove. To establish wrongdoing, we needed to see, did Ghana purchase those aircrafts beyond the prices that they are supposed to be sold? Did the monies that came back, were they monies that came back to government because of the award of the contract? And who did it go to? These questions were questions that were easily answerable. Except, look, did this matter come up before it became an issue in the UK? Because, of course, like the ambulance case, it has come up from within our own audit systems that something is amiss. But until those trials happened in the UK and in the US, there was no whimper about the purchase of those Airbuses in Ghana. And so, just because the UK, per their procedures and laws, had issues with the way these transactions were handled over there, Ghana naturally said, oh, it means that somebody had done wrong here. That's why I'm saying I am surprised. So we raised the issue about, and I don't know, you call him Foster, but it was always reported as Samuel. So I don't know if Adam
Foster and Samuel Adam Mahama, same person.
Same person.
Okay, so Adam Mahama went into a transaction. He happens to be blood brother of the president.
Yes, former president.
Former president, the president at the time.
Yeah.
Now, what was the president supposed to do? Stop him from engaging in his business? Or the president should not have done the transaction, approve the transaction because his brother was involved? Which one would he do? What could President Mahama have done? Your brother, like Ibrahim Mahama, everybody knows he's a businessman. He does business here. So if he pitches for government business of any kind and he earns it, should the president insist that because you are my brother, government won't do business with you? Stop your business and go bankrupt because you are my brother. Or the president will recuse him. What would the president do? Because he, at the time, was the chairman of the council that was in a position to acquire those.
He was the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Even when, you see, that transaction started from the time when he was vice president. But what could he have done? He was playing a role, constitutional role. His brother, who has family to feed, happened to, had a business dealing that coincided with this. Yes, I can understand questions of conflict of interest. And in law, when questions of conflict of interest arise, there is a requirement for full disclosure. That is the requirement. And so once there is a full disclosure, there is no problem there. The person says, look, I'm the brother of the president, and this is my business. And if the transaction is above board, there is really nothing, the then president could have done. So, this is the problem we have as a country. We like political, equalization. We like, and all this ambulance case and too much politics when it comes to criminal service, discharge. And criminal justice should not be dealt with in the manner that we do it. More so, especially when a lot of the times we know that these things are going to taint the integrity of persons who have earned these reputations very highly. Its reputations are very expensive. And yet, if we have an opportunity to bastardize you for anything and it will give us political capital, why not? Questions have been raised about the timing of this report. In fact, and that the implication is that, the special prosecutor seems to be doing this to favor the former president. Do you not think if this had any effect on elections, the former president should be the biggest loser? He lost elections twice. Because of this, if this had an impact, he lost 2 elections. And these could have been, contributing factors. You want, how many elections do you want him to stand with this hanging on his head? It has come rather too late, if you ask me. If this was settled a year ago, by the time he started his campaign, towards this matters would not have still come up. I mean, anytime whether or not the former president has been corrupt, that question is asked. Airbus scandal comes up. And we've dealt with it all over. For the special prosecutor today to come and tell us that, there was nothing at all in there. For all these years when he was referred to as government official 1 and Airbus scandal, there was nothing there. And why would we, when I have no doubt that any diligent person looking at that story and asking the right questions could have answered it in a week. So, I mean, it has come a bit too late, but for me, it was never a story to start with, but for the political gains that people made out of it.
Okay. Audu.
Yes, sir. Airbus scandal. Special prosecutor has done investigation. So he said, I've gone through his statement. I have not seen any investigation that he has done with regard to this matter, apart from interviewing the people who were allegedly taking bribes from Airbus.
Is that not part of an investigation?
Look, they were not the people, Airbus, they were investigated not because they underdeclared any monies to any authorities in UK, France, or United States. They were investigated, charges were that they were paying bribes to officials of many countries, including Ghana, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and all those countries. They were allegedly paying bribes to officials of these countries to gain favors to sell their aircraft. That was the basis for the investigation. It was not because they were under-declaring anything to any state authorities. That was the basis. Now, when all these countries came to the conclusion that they were going to investigate Airbus, there were indictments, statement of facts, and all that. Airbus, looking at all the allegations or all the charges, agreed that they were guilty. And that was why there was deferred prosecution in the matter, and they paid fines in lieu of prosecution. And that's a fact. So that must be made clear, that all the issues that were raised by all these countries, SFO, United States, the Southwark Court of United States and all that. No, United States, sorry. The Southwark Court was UK. That's SFO. And then France, all the investigation that was done was based on all the deferred, all the deferred prosecution was an agreement that Airbus agreed that they admitted all the allegations that had been made, and that included bribe payment. So if anybody says that there was no allegation of bribe payment to anybody, that's a fallacy. It is in all the documents that were before these courts in these 3 countries. Now, the contention has always been, who is government official 1? When the first special prosecutor, Martin Amidu, identified former President Mohammed as government official 1, there was chaos. I said there was chaos because even former President Mohammed had a cause to refer that he actually brought that in to mention his name to equalize when he was considering the Ajapa risk assessment report. And it said that Martin Amidu was engaged in sheer stupidity. That was what he said. Now, what Martin Hamidu said, that former President Mahama was or is government official one, has now been confirmed by the second special prosecutor, Kisi Ajabin. So there's no debate on that. But we all know the role of government official one in all this deal. So if somebody says that the deal was actually done before Airbus engaged, deal Ghana between Ghana and Airbus was done before Mahama's former President Mahama's brother Adams Foster Mahama was engaged, that cannot be the fact. That cannot be. Because the company that involved in all this was actually incorporated in Ghana, that in some jurisdictions was named as Company D. Company was incorporated in Ghana, and that company acted on behalf of the country of Ghana. And by the way, the time they acted that way, there was no agreement between government of Ghana and that company. So who on his behalf was Adam Mahama acting for in this matter? And let me look at these portions of deferred judgment for document U.S. court on Airbus scandal. If you look at paragraph 36 of that deferred judgment, it says that Airbus used consultant 4. You remember that consultant 4 is a U.S. version of intermediary 5. That's the same Adam Mahama. In United Kingdom, he's used as intermediary 5. But United States, they use Adam Mahama as consultant 4. And this paragraph 36 of what was before the report that was presented in court. Airbus used consultant 4 as a conduit for messages intended for individual 1. In United States, individual 1 was used for government official 1. Yes. US used individual 1. And they are saying that Airbus used consultant 4 as a conduit for messages intended for individual 1. Individual 1 was labeled government official 1 in UK court deferred judgment. Now, if you go to paragraph 137 of that, consultant 4, that is Adam Mahama, and 5. 5 is his friend. In United Kingdom, he is referred to as intermediate 6. In UK, he is consultant 5. Adam Mahama is always first before him. Yeah. So initially we're engaged by Airbus without any written business partner agreement and without Airbus completing due diligence. My observation is this. So Ghana's Mahama's brother was negotiating a deal on behalf of Ghana without any written agreement, because that was the agreement that is. And with that, who authorized that dealing with that agreement? Who did it? He was supposed to be a conduit between the Airbus and Ghana. And somebody tells me, and I don't, by the way, I don't see, I've gone through the report of Kisi Ajabi, I don't see that conduit aspect. Can anybody point it out?
Yeah, when you finish, you see.
Okay. You see. Because he virtually reproduced the conduit aspect I'm talking about. He virtually reproduced what SFO and then US court has done. That's why I'm saying that I don't see any original investigation done by him. He produced everything. And at one point he said he agreed with all the findings of SFO and the rest. On one breath you agree with all, and on another breath you disagree with that there was no bribe taking. Even though Airbus itself has agreed that they were bribe taking. When people say that, so that is the question. Does this confirm that he was actually it was indeed the conduit for Airbus? Adams Mahama was a conduit, and everything was done through him. Now, what everybody is asking, not everybody, because there are people here, some of us, because there are people here who believe that the man has been so exonerated. There are people here, the two of them have said so. He has been so exonerated.
You disagree with the OSP, go ahead.
Oh yes, I do.
He's the one who did the investigation.
Oh yeah. Like, it is very rich coming that OSP.
You know, I'm surprised. I'm sorry for catching. You are my good friend. I'm surprised that you are today saying that no investigation was done independent of that report, because I remember when the Cecilia Dapa one came, and she was not even ever invited an interview. But it was okay. That investigation was okay.
If you listen to what I said then, because we're talking of. He said there was no corruption and corruption related.
Between Cecilia Dapa and this one, which one was more investigated?
See, all have been clear now. So
he's talking about Iyoko. He's talking about Iyoko. How Iyoko dealt with the Cecilia Dapa report. That we said Iyoko didn't investigate, and we said Iyoko investigated. You know, when the report went from OSP.
Let's continue on the Airbus.
When I said Iyoko investigated.
No, that's fine.
When I tell Iyoko investigated.
Let's proceed.
When you bring matters like this,
let's proceed.
No, I will not proceed because I don't want
you to derail from the Airbus.
Yoko.
Please don't digress. Let's go back.
I'll get back to that. See, anything I say, I'm able to defend what I say on this platform, and they know it. I am saying that if Adams Mahama was a conduit for which the dealings were done, how can somebody say that the deal was done before he came in? How can somebody say that? And the man was actually paid because of his dealings with Airbus in relation to Ghana's project. How can it be said that by a special prosecutor that the deal, former President Mahama had already had a deal before Adams Mahama came in?
We're talking about three. We are talking about 3 aircraft, and that's how come.
I am not talking about any specific. It's about aircraft Ghana.
No, but you have to put the discussion in context. You cannot.
So let me give you that part.
It doesn't really matter to me because even if it is one aircraft.
No problem. Let me give you the 616. Said it also appears to the OSP that the relationship between
it appears.
Oh yeah, that's how they count their. This is the same thing. It appears.
I didn't question that.
Normal. That's how
you have not mentioned that even Cecilia Alpha, it appears.
No, that's how they mention because you see,
if you have an investigation,
it's a court that can be definite.
It appears to
everyone. But it was the same language used.
Yes,
that's
the language.
If it is a legal language, I see to be flawed. I'm not a lawyer. But if it appears to you, is it a reality?
But
the documents are available.
Do we use it appears?
No, it appears. How can you say it appears when you are making statement of fact?
So let me ask counsel if that's
that's what you have to say because until those pieces are presented before a court and the court makes findings, you can only say it appears to you. You cannot state it on any fact.
Determination is made. You cannot say that.
Remember that these investigations are. You are gathering evidence to present before a court. Some of the findings you may even make and present before a court will be thrown out, even if it goes before a court in a prosecution. Investigations are the dossier of evidence that you have gathered. It has to go through the scrutiny of admissibility of evidence, cross-examination before it becomes fact. So you
are usurping my space. Will you allow?
She invited me to explain something, and I'm only explaining that.
Today I have accepted to. Okay, you go and read that.
Yeah, so let me read that. So like I said, there was the same language in the Cecilia Dapa report. Now it also appears to the OSP that the relationship between Airbus and Foster and his associate was neither a one-off nor peculiar to the Airbus Ghana deal.
Okay.
Airbus had in place a similar business partnership models with Foster and his associate in respect of business promotion in other African countries before the Airbus Ghana transaction. So they had a long-standing relationship. Good.
But don't go for it. You'll be taking much of my time.
No problem.
What I want to say that this dealing between Airbus and Ghana, Adams Mahama was actually an intermediary. That must be made clear. The deal between Airbus and Ghana, Adams Mahama was the intermediary.
And that was wrongdoing?
Oh, I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Okay.
But that intermediary was a conduit between Airbus could get. Let me read this portion.
Okay.
To make matters a bit clearer. That's why sometimes I print to. But
you see, the problem with the UK and US reports.
You see, if you look at SFO report, paragraph 30, paragraph 53, that the payments were intended to induce or reward improper favor by government official went towards Airbus. What does that mean?
No, but you see,
what does that mean?
That is why Kissi Jabin talks about the breaches of the rules of natural justice.
Which language?
When these allegations are made, it is only fair that the persons against whom they are made have an opportunity to respond. And in their response, and that is why Kissi Jabin called them and interviewed all of them, including the former president.
But that's not the clarification.
And the evidence now becomes clear that those payments were not bribes. Were not as described in this report.
Who said they were not bribes?
But that's what the OSP has uncovered.
OSP, but they call.
No, you see.
No, you see.
No, but you
then
see,
you are not listening.
You didn't follow.
No, but Audu, is that not akin to replicating US and UK laws?
What
down here?
Is it what?
Yeah, you are saying that is what the UK and US. I'm saying, is that not akin to replicating US and UK laws?
I don't understand that.
Okay,
what is akin to what?
Let Audu answer this question. Simple.
Okay.
I'll be just 1 minute. Audu,
yes,
you've done something for me.
Yes.
I have paid you for the job you did. There's evidence that you worked for me. And we had an agreement that after working for me, I'll pay you.
Yes.
I then go to Buete and tell Buete that I gave you bribe. What I gave you was bribe. Because
you go to who?
I go to Buete.
He comes to me and
I go to Buete and tell Buete that even though you worked for me and I paid you, what I gave you was bribe. And I tell Buete that because I have breached. No, that's what happened. That's what the OSP is saying.
Because giving me the money, breach of rules.
That's what U.S. court is saying.
Okay.
But the U.S. court
must be made.
But that's what I was asking. That's not what U.S. court is saying. But this is our investigation.
So based on what is he making these allusions? Based on
because he spoke to them.
Exactly.
And they showed evidence that they worked and they got paid.
No, you see, that is the problem. That evidence.
Yes.
You see, when these allegations were made by SFO and United States and all these were contained. All these matters.
They didn't hear from them. They didn't hear from them. They were mentioned.
Could that report have been a basis? Could the U.S. have called Foster Mohammed to the U.S. and convicted him?
No, the UK court actually, the prosecutors actually wrote to Adam Mahama and told Adam Mahama that they are unable to prosecute him.
Where is the agreement? Where is the agreement? It is the word of Adam Mahama
that's Kissi Jabin who was doing the investigation. When you ask where is the agreement, if he hadn't seen it, he would not report it.
You see, no problem.
Please allow
no problem. You see, I like the heckling when it comes to this thing. I enjoy it because I can do it well. You see, I am saying that. Look, this matter. He's saying that. Well, he's even to his report. He's saying that if tomorrow there's any evidence that there's bribe taken on the part of Adam Mahama and his brother, senior brother, John Dramani Mahama, the case may be reopened. It is stated there.
Yeah.
Now, what he is saying that for now, he doesn't see any bribe taking. He doesn't see anything. So, former President Mahama has been acquitted. Acquitted. Discharged.
Exonerated.
Yes.
If you like.
Because
he has never been prosecuted.
He did not arrive at any bribe.
He's not been prosecuted, so he's not acquitted.
He's been exonerated for not taking any bribes. But I am saying that he has not answered the question himself.
Which is?
He has not answered that question.
Which question?
I just read it to you. That the brother was used as a conduit.
But that's an allegation made in the UK court.
Yes.
That is their observation. And the evidence here, after interviewing them and Kissi Jabin going through it, says that no, he wasn't used as a conduit. In fact, his relationship preceded the transaction in Ghana.
That's what I read.
And so he wasn't used as a conduit, number one. Number two, that the payments made to him were actually considerations for work done. That is the finding, the findings of that Kissi Jabin made. So if he say he hasn't answered, he has answered.
He has answered, no problem. Now you see, I have no problem at all that today Kissi Jabin, he cleared how do you call it, Cecilia Japa. We had issues with it here.
He didn't clear.
He did.
It was Yoko.
Yoko, he referred the matter to Yoko. And Yoko, I said, didn't do any investigation.
You see, look, I don't like this kind of conduct.
Okay.
What was the purview or the listing of I'm coming.
Corruption and corruption related.
What did he say about that?
He said those two legs had not been established, but money laundering and structuring was established, and that is go to Yoko.
It is not within his jurisdiction.
So what did he do? by saying that his aspect, they were not. What did
That's why he referred the matter to Yoko.
Oh, I don't care what he referred. I am saying that Kisi Ajabin as a prosecutor, but in the matters related to him, corruption and corruption-related charge, what did he say about Cecilia Dapa? He didn't find those matters, and therefore those matters were cleared. He had
and you say we had problems with it here.
We didn't have problems.
You didn't have problem that he was cleared on.
We said that he had referred the matter to Yoko.
So you didn't have problems that he was cleared on corruption-related matters. You didn't have problem
but
with
that's
that.
the finding.
That is the finding. We have problem. That's the OSP's finding.
Problem.
You agree with that?
Yes, but then you see.
But don't. There's no nothing like by then. Because that was his mandate. There's nothing like by then. That was his mandate. His mandate is not to find out whether was engaging in money laundering or that was not his.
Oh wow! You have a microphone. You have a microphone.
No. Was that his mandate that somebody was involved in money laundering?
Remember, I gave an example that you are investigating battery, right? You are investigating battery or domestic violence. You go there, you uncover murder. Your remit is solely to domestic violence.
So you have cleared the person.
Will you say that because murder is not part of my work, I'm turning a blind eye? I've not seen the murder.
No, but that's
or
not
you
what
will
I
refer
said.
to another body.
But that's exactly what happened. That's not what. In referring to murder, that's your purview. You are saying there's no murder, so you have cleared them on murder, and you are referring to somebody who is in charge of manslaughter.
But you see, when the Attorney General now said, "Oh, when the Yoko did their investigation," and
you are referring to. Okay, so let me conclude
that is the part.
Let me conclude on this matter. There's even evidence. There's even evidence. And when he said that Martin Amidu was engaged in stupidity in this matter, you know, Martin Amidu replied that even before this, there was this testimony before the man to become a Ghanaian, to be able to incorporate his company in Ghana and all that as a Ghanaian, there was a passport for him to be a Ghanaian. Why are you saying? Why are you making gestures? Let me make my comment.
Okay.
We're on the show. All the matters involving this must be pointed out, involving Airbus.
Yeah.
He had issued an epistle responding to him that this is somebody, his brother, when he was filling a passport form for him, he knew that the brother had not gone to University of Ghana. Between 1992 and 1994, when he was not here, he has forcefully endorsed that Anas Mahama was at the University of Ghana, my university, the premier university, the #1 university in Ghana. That Anas Mahama was at that university to procure a passport for him to be a Ghanaian. What do you say to that?
That's an entirely different subject. And by the way,
it was in relation to
no, I know.
Relax. From the court
now you see what you say. I would tell you.
What was not from court document?
Please allow.
From what I would do is saying, it's almost as if the investigation was not necessary. If there was all this evidence, all the president needed to do, he didn't need to refer this matter to the OSP. You're talking as if all of this was evidence that was there.
Which one?
I'm coming. You have. Let me finish. Let me finish.
It is my turn.
So when the president is doing your turn a long time. If
ask him a question.
You quiz.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
I didn't say.
If the point is that if all of this evidence was there, all the Attorney General needed to do was to start prosecution. After all, the evidence was there. There was no need for investigation. From what you are saying, it's almost as if there was evidence, enough evidence. So then why did you even decide to investigate? Attorney General, if all of this evidence you have, which is unimpeachable from the way you are talking, then by all means, Attorney General is an appointee of the president. He should take it up and prosecute Adam Mahama and President Mahama for that matter. There is unimpeachable evidence.
That can be done.
You are talking about unimpeachable evidence. OSP had nothing to do.
You see, I am happy. I am saying that I am happy that today, the work of Kisi Ajabin has been acknowledged. That he, first of all, I also insist that he cleared Kisi Ladapa, even though this thing that he.
But at the time, the NPP didn't think that he did a lazy job.
Where?
Because I have heard the NPP Haruna say that OSP did a lazy job.
This one?
Yes, on this particular Airbus.
But
if he cleared Cecilia Dafa, then he didn't do a lazy job.
NDC said he did a lazy job on Cecilia Dafa.
No, I'm asking.
It's a political game they are playing. That is not what we are doing here. We are all looking at the issues before.
But what do you think? Do you think he did a lazy job?
Me, I have concluded that I do not think because he did not have privy to the original information. He doesn't have the privy to the original information that was before the UK, France, and he doesn't have. And he has never had that original information. What he has done was to talk to the people in charge. And the people have given their side of the story. It is their side of the story that he's reporting to Ghanaians. That is the investigation he has done. And
Council, I'll allow you time, please.
Because what he did in that report, he produced all the facts before the UK court and US court. He produced all that in his report, and even said he agreed with what they have said. It is in his report. I have to look at that portion.
No, he said that he has no basis.
Yes, to disagree.
Delve into what happened. Oh, I have it. I was reading it before you came.
Which one are you reading?
So, okay, so around point. Okay, so I'm searching for it.
From point 5.
From point 5. Okay, so let me go to from point 5. Point 5 is here, so we there.
I don't know.
Point 5 says, notwithstanding the definitive pronouncement by the UK and the US court on the accepted culpability of Airbus beyond reasonable doubt for the bribery in relation to the sale to Ghana of C-295 aircraft, it was imperative that criminal investigations be carried out by relevant Ghanaian authorities for several reasons. First, the relevant investigative authority in Ghana did not participate in the investigation in relation to the act that referred to Ghana. The President's 2nd February 2022 referral to the OSP is testament that Ghana officially became aware of the global investigations into the conduct of the Airbus by the SFO, the DOJ, the DOS, and the PNF after the fact and after the coordinated 31 January 2020 judicial pronouncement. Okay, now I think that's not the portion.
No, that's not the portion. Just a minute. He was talking. Let me go. Let me.
Okay, so I just wanted to read the portion that captures the allegations of the claims against Foster.
But it is clearly unfair to say that the OSP's investigation was merely to reproduce what the people told him. I mean, it is clear that there were a set of facts presented before him, and he already indicated that the UK and the US were not cooperative. So he did not have anything beyond
but
what
they
was...
were not supposed to cooperate because that was part of the agreement.
So,
that was part of the judgment.
That is what I am saying.
They were not supposed to disclose.
What I'm saying is, beyond that court...
when they have taken so much money from Airbus, they've taken so much money and agreed that they will not be prosecuted.
But the point...
Why would they give further information?
No, but the point is that... So what was Kwesi Ejagbin supposed to work with beyond the court document? Unless you say that he didn't work with the court document, because you are saying he only reproduced the interview. He had that court document and the interviews that he conducted. Those were the two pieces.
I said he reproduced the court document.
You said he did. No, then you said he reproduced what the people told him to Ghanaians. That's what he did.
But that is what he did. They interviewed the people told him.
But that's what I'm saying, that he assessed what was in the court document.
Yes.
What the responses the people had given to every question raised in the court document.
They were not responsive. No. You can't say that the people responded to the court document.
But his interview with them.
I have an answer for you as to why the prosecutors in the UK, in the US, were not cooperative with Ghana's special prosecutor. The reason is that the individuals had been set free. If you remember, there were letters that were written by prosecutors in the UK to Adam Mahama and the others' name that there is no evidence for their prosecution. So they are free. Why? Oh yes, I have it. It's reproduced in the OSP thing. You see, they had been set free. So once they have been set free,
you see why they were see that is no. I am not this thing. Look, I am not saying because look.
Please let him land so we can go for a break.
They will be set free because to my mind, I am not a lawyer, because in the whole judgment, in the whole deferred judgment, they were saying that the people involved, because Airbus has agreed liability, has agreed to bribery and corruption, sorry. The agreement was that those people involved were not supposed to be prosecuted. That was the agreement.
No, that was for the Airbus people, the Airbus officials. No. At all. Airbus officials. It's Airbus officials
it's
who
only
entered into a deal.
Not
It's not the Ghanaians who were named. No. No, it's not. I'm coming.
I'll do. Please land.
It's not.
So,
it's not.
No. Why? He's
let me land and he comes in. Let me land and he comes in, please. Please. So the officials named who had something to do with the dealings in Ghana had not been set free. That's how come the president found the need to refer the matter to the special prosecutor to investigate those people, because it involves Ghana's money in procurement of military aircraft. You get the drift. Then the cooperation aspect. In fact, there were some aspect that there was cooperation. From what I gather, the UK authorities were very cooperative in even getting the individuals for the OSP to investigate them and then interview them. So they played, and I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this on authority.
From the report?
No, I'm telling you this on authority.
Which authority?
Authority from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. That indeed they played an active role in location of the others, including Adam Mahama, for this interview to be conducted. That was done. But the point is that they had been set free, because mainly the case was mainly against them in the UK. And the prosecutors had written to them that until otherwise determined, you are free. We will not prosecute you. So on what basis are you then going to prosecute them here in Ghana? That's the point.
And by the way, the UK and the US.
Anyway, gentlemen, we have to.
Oh, it's been reproduced here. It's been reproduced here. The same thing that the special prosecutor reproduced here.
We have to take a quick break here. When we return, we'll continue the conversation. get to see are the most interesting sound bites. Anyway, my guests are still here. Audi Mohammed is managing editor of the Custodian newspaper. Amana Kwesi-Boete is a private legal practitioner and the man who's celebrating 10 years. Ibrahim Alassan is the head of political desk here at the AIB network, and my name is Lily Mohammed. We've been discussing OSP's exoneration of former President Mohammed in the Airbus scandal. Gentlemen, we have 5 minutes to wrap up.
Okay, so wrap up on this, or we should go to a different one. I think we should go to a different matter.
Did you land?
Oh no, what I'm saying is, look, for now, special prosecutor who is in charge to do this job has stated that former President Mama is exonerated. Until that is set aside, that is a final decision. But it's left with the moral conscience of many to determine whether what he has done, like he did with Cecilia Dapa.
Absolutely.
I have said that he cleared Cecilia Dapa on matters related to corruption and
related offenses.
He cleared Cecilia Dapa on those matters. Now he's clearing Mohammed too. He has cleared Mohammed too. Or not, if he said he's not cleared, exonerated. He has exonerated Mohammed too. So two. He has cleared to me. I've said he has cleared it too.
Okay.
So let's move on. But as I've said, the matters in the public domain will continue. This matter will continue in public domain, and Ghanaians will make decisions for themselves as to whether Kisi Ajapin did a good job or not. One side is saying he has done an excellent job. Another side is saying that he has done a poor job. Let the people of Ghana decide for themselves.
Another issue we want to discuss shortly, we'll touch on it briefly, is the Attorney General going back to court to appeal the Court of Appeal judgment.
I thought this matter is in court. Well, I thought you were going to talk about founders.
No,
okay, let's talk about founders day then.
Founders.
But I mean, the topic has been raised. He filed
it's not in court yet. Yes, it's not in court yet.
So
he filed appeal yesterday.
He filed the appeal. The Attorney General, Godfrey Dami.
So what is the matter to discuss?
He's seeking two reliefs. That the decision and consequential order of the Court of Appeal dated July 30, acquitting and discharging accused appellant respondents be set aside.
Yes.
The other release he's seeking is that the accused appellant respondents be ordered to continue with their defense at the trial.
Yes, it's just what a normal prosecutor would do. So if you start at a particular point and you lose a case, you move to the next stage. And that's what he has done. And when the Court of Appeal gave his judgment, he actually gave his intention, he declares his intention that he was going to do this. And he has done it. So what is left now, it is for Supreme Court to decide on the matter.
And it's on legal vacation.
Yes, and I am not sure they are going to consider this before legal vacation. They may have to do it, and I think that they should do it after legal vacation. I've not seen them handling such matters during legal vacation. The matter that is already pending, I don't see. Sometimes it's the fresh cases that they allow vacation judges to handle. Am I right?
And the Supreme Court, I doubt have vacation judges. The High Courts usually have vacation
exactly.
judges.
So I do not think that this matter will be heard before
anytime
before
soon.
Yes.
Legal vacation is
but
over.
I've also heard people, including my own very good brother, saying that the man is fighting for his life. And
I believe so.
I've heard him, but this is not a matter of fighting for his life. It's a matter of state prosecutor, the number one state prosecutor of the country, who thinks that a matter has been determined, and he thinks that this matter he disagrees with the matter, he's moving to the next stage, and that's what all sensible lawyers do. You don't shout on radio that you disagree and say that and start making noise. What you do is to go through all the processes, and that's what he has done. Look, if he loses the appeal at the Supreme Court, that will not be the end of his career as a lawyer. Lawyers lose cases, they win cases, and therefore I do not see him fighting for anything. For me, this thing he is doing, I have a serious I sympathize with him strongly, because you speak to some people even within his own party, his own government, he seemed to having two fights. He thinks that he's following what the law says, and there are people within even his party who think that he is doing some personal something
or witch hunt.
And if you are an attorney general and you cannot, people say that it's a political matter. Why? If a politician is alleged to have done something and the person is taken to court, why would you say that is a political trial? Why would you say that? It's, so if you say it's a political trial, it means that any politician who is alleged to have engaged in it, it should not be tried because he's a politician. Because if you try that politician, people will say that it's a political trial. I don't think that's what he's engaging. What is he thinks that he has a law on his side. At one stage, the law is saying that no, the lawyers, those who have the boss, who are the this thing to the power to determine, have said that no, the law is not on your side. And he thinks that he disagrees. He's moving forward, and that's what the right thing to do. And I do not think that if this matter is determined and he loses it will be the end of his enviable legal career. He is a lawyer. You can go and look at this thing, Ghana Law Report, and see the record of this Attorney General. His cases that he has handled. I know him personally because he was our lawyer when I was a daily guide. And the work he is in. And I'll personally be in court to hear him. So this will not be the end of his career. If he loses, that is it. That's what the law says.
Counsel.
Well, you see, yes, he's a lawyer and of Gargantua repute, no doubt. But if he loses the Supreme Court case, he could literally stand trial. I'm telling you.
How?
You know that Jacquard made an offer to refund.
No, hold on. That's a fallacy that people
so
have put in the plan. Let him quote where
I said Dems. You see,
the big C, the supplier.
Let him say. In fact,
I am saying that.
Please.
I have heard lawyers saying this smart thing. Let him go ahead.
Yeah. I am saying that there was a clear offer.
This is non-political. So somebody who does not have legal training like me, say somewhere, a professor who professes to know everything, says this and you are repeating the same thing here.
No, I am saying it. I'm repeating. I didn't refer to it. I didn't refer to it. Professor. Oh, I would. I am saying that there was an offer made to the Attorney General for refund of money.
By whom?
By the supplier.
By the supplier. The money was, you see, unless the Attorney General was minded only to prosecute, to put people in jail. This is a case relating to willfully causing financial loss to the state. The first objective is to recover the money. If an offer was made on behalf of Jacquard that the monies could be refunded, a portion of the money, in fact, significant portion of the money could be refunded, if not all, in fact, I am told that apart from the 2 million, there was a later revised offer.
Yeah.
And the Attorney General decided that I won't take the money because I want to proceed with the prosecution. And you see, what has happened here, no matter how you look at the reputation of Godfred Yeboah-Dame, what has happened here, that after a docket which has been investigated was brought to you in your capacity as Attorney General of Republic of Ghana, now having the gamut of resources behind you and the whole team of the Attorney General Department behind you, you reviewed that docket, you went to court, and at the close of the prosecution's case, what the Court of Appeal is saying, and if the Supreme Court affirm it, what the net effect is that you in fact should not have gone to court at all.
And that is the first time that is happening.
But that's what I'm saying.
That is the first time that is supposed to be happening.
Please allow him. We have just
I am a lawyer and I am telling you, give me precedence of how many times an appellate court throws out the Attorney General conducting a trial by himself. The Attorney General conducting a trial by himself throws out the case that there was no prima facie case. Give me precedence.
Yeah, so you see,
we're talking about the Attorney General conducting a trial by himself. And I am telling you.
We'll come back to this matter.
Why? We're dealing with reputation at this point.
But he has no reputation.
Oh, I am saying that the dent that this matter creates in the reputation of the Attorney General is almost irreparable. And don't tell me this is not the first time. If it has happened, it happens when the Attorney General might not be trying a matter by himself. Now, coupled with the fact that there were allegations by Jacquard,
Lily,
that
I want you to confirm. I want you to confirm. No, he has always interjected me. I want you to confirm that Attorney General of this state has never lost an appeal at the Court of Appeal.
I'm talking about the dent in the reputation of Honorable Godfred Yeboah-Dame.
Precedence.
And I am saying that.
Asking me.
But you are the one who has disputed that's not the first time it's happening.
But has it ever happened?
I am saying that I don't know of a case where the Attorney General was conducting a trial by himself.
Okay.
And at the close of his case, the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court will both affirm that but you are saying when the Supreme now I said
don't conclude. It doesn't come to that.
You said that
stay with a Court of Appeal first.
The Supreme Court has not ruled yet.
What I'm saying,
why are you adding them?
He Awudu said that even if he loses in the Supreme Court, it will mean nothing. And I'm saying if he loses in the Supreme Court, it will be a heavy dent. Why? Because that will be the first time, and it would mean a lot for an Attorney General conducting a trial by himself to have now had the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court both saying that you shouldn't have gone to court at all.
I am today encouraged to do law.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's a good one.
I am today encouraged to do law.
If you look at, he himself will not be able to live with himself so easily. So when somebody says he's fighting for his reputation, it is true. Because indeed, if the Supreme Court affirms the decision, what it means is that his decision to go to court in the first place was so heavily flawed and motivated by many other things other than knowledge of law. And why? Because subsequent to the matters that arose, Jakpa has said that the man, even beyond the courtroom, tried to induce me to support him to lead evidence against the minority leader. And so if it comes, to a point where even the Supreme Court affirms that, you should not have gone to court, it would only mean that you knew that this was no proper case. You only went for some personal, vendetta or, some personal, I don't know the right word to use.
Witch hunt.
Yes, and that won't be good. And you, Awudu, yourself have said that even within his own party, people feel that this is personal vendetta and unnecessary.
But that's the
belief. And so I will hope that the Supreme Court will look at this favorably. I have seen the notice of appeal.
Favorably.
I will
favorably
wait.
For who?
Okay, you wait. Ibrahim, we have just a minute.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, so I would mention that I had said that the AG is fighting for his life. Yes, that was in parentheses. But this is what I meant.
We are not tackling the important issue.
of Founders Day, the apostrophe debate. Look, we can bring it back next week. Yes, so basically the point is this. I understand what Korle-Bu Adame is doing. See, I can't even imagine how many people from within who ask him not to go to the Supreme Court. Many. Yes, I can't even imagine the number. But the fact that this fight has gone beyond just the state versus ABCD, this is now the fight where the AG is seeking to clear himself. And this is not lost on anybody. Korle-Bu Adame is fighting to clear himself. Now, he will go till there is nowhere to go anymore. Trust me. Korle-Bu Adame will go till there is nowhere to go. What I envisage happening is that this trial will not be done by elections. And the outcome of the election will determine the continuity or otherwise of this trial. That one is not lost on anybody. Because with Japan and Auto Forces securing their freedom, this freedom is for them till the elections. Whatever happens after the elections will determine whether they return to the court or they don't. I'm sure that if NDC wins 2024 elections, they will be filing for nolly proscribed from opposition. Before they even get into power, they will be writing to the court that throw away this case. That is not lost on anybody because this has become political. Take it or leave it. It's not just legal. Yes. So basically, I understand Korle-Bu Adame. If I were in his shoes, I might have done the same thing because the fight has gotten to the point where he needs to fight to clear himself. On all fronts. And I've heard many people argue along the lines of Boete that if somebody offers you 2 million euros out of 2.37 and you don't take it, now the conversation is turned to, what if you had taken it? We wouldn't have lost. Now we have lost on all fronts. The legal fees, the time that we wasted. That is the conversation that will be had about Korle-Bu Adame. So there's more to it than just seeking to jail somebody.
So let me clarify something on this 2 point. This million, 2 million. Where did they say they were going to pay the money? Where did they came to court or they appeared? No, they appeared. They
came through Jakpa.
Yeah, Jakpa mentioned that. Okay, gentlemen. So that's Audu Mohammed. He's managing editor of the Custodian newspaper. Nana Kwesi Boete is a private legal practitioner and our very own Ibrahim Al-Hassan. He's at the political desk here at the EIB network. My name is Lily Mohammed. Pretty shortly, we'll be launching Star at 10 years of impact, resilience, and of course, excellence in broadcasting. Stay tuned in. Is that your name?
Nuchi Meek.
Nuchi Meek.
Yes.
What does it mean?
It's my real name. My real name is Nuchi. My real name is Nooch. And then I added the Meek and I made it Nuchi Meek.
So you're a meek person, right?
Yeah, I am.
Blessed are the meek. But how are you? You are the reigning artist of the year in Liberia.
Sure.
How does it feel to be artist of the year?
Amazing, you know.
It's amazing,
It was amazing.
How many years running?
It's been 10 years now.
Yeah,
I started 2013 actually, and then 2014 my music started playing, and then 2016 I had my first hit in the country, and then it's just been up since then.
It's been up since then.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you prior to 2013. Who are you? What were you doing? How was life for you? And at what point did you think that this is my love that I want to go into full time?
Okay, before I started doing music, and I was a kid playing football, and basketball. You know, I played both football and basketball for my school. And that, you know, I was just like a fun kid, growing up, coming up from YNCA, having fun, you know. But then I used to go out a lot because football, basketball, the extra activities and everything. So I used to go out a lot, and my mom was trying to find a way to keep me home. So then she had to give me a studio equipment and stuff. My big brother sent me a studio equipment from the States. And then I just started working from home, started doing it from like 2012, 2013, and then 2014. I started having hits playing around in the country.
What was your first hit?
It's called Manko.
Manko?
Manko, yeah. It was actually done on a Ghanaian beat.
Okay.
Yeah, it was done on this Papi Kojo Awa.
Oh, Awa. You this boy. Awa. Okay.
So I did like a freestyle on it, and then
it became a hit.
magically,
wow.
yeah.
That's nice. So after the Manko, what was your next hit?
Then I just started dropping back to back. I dropped my first EP mixtape. That was my first body of work. By dropping in 2018 because it's still breathing mixtape. And then I have few play songs that wasn't really hit like that. And then 2019 when I dropped my next project, it was a Team Nucci EP. That's when I got a hit, like the biggest hit of my life. Up to now, it's still the biggest song.
Really? What's the title of that song?
It's called Pepper Soup.
Pepper soup. Where did you get the word from? Was it a Nigerian importation?
No, it was like, it was a twist to it. You understand? The pepper soup is not actually about the soup.
Okay.
It's actually about the.
I know.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's about the spicy nature.
Yeah,
so your song was spicy.
Yeah. So, I didn't really want to put it on my work actually on the project. My friend just told me like, bro, just add this. And fortunately, we added it to the work, and it became the hardest song I've ever done. Yeah.
Wow.
2019.
10 years on, would you say that it's been worth it?
Sure. Yeah.
If you were not the artist of the year.
Yeah, sure. Because I've been doing this because I love it, because of the passion, not because of the accolades or the awards. You understand? So I think that if people don't applaud me, I applaud myself. I know how confident I am, and I know what I'm doing. So I feel like if I wasn't going to be in any higher position, I still have the confidence that I still have more to do, and I still have more work to do. Even now, I feel like I'm just starting now.
You feel like you're just starting. What are you doing in Ghana?
I came to did a show with Bigo at the Braka. It was a Stone Boy show. Yeah, and because I did a show in Kigali, Rwanda. That's where I shot this video. Yeah, so then when I came back, I did a show. It was this on Sunday at the Braka with Stone Boy for this Bigo Fest. And then after that, we started doing the media run for my new project, because I have a new project about to drop.
Oh, okay. What's the title?
It's called Forced to Score.
Forced
to Score.
To Score.
Yeah, it's an EP.
Oh, really? Why that title? You're a footballer, so you're bringing back your football terms.
Yeah, you know the name. I got the name because I'm a striker. You understand? Like when I was playing football, I always score. You understand? And then when it comes to my social life, it started translating to my social life, because everything I was doing, even the football side, the basketball side, the rapping side, at one point in my life, I was doing all three simultaneously. So I feel like at this point now, me taking my music from Liberia to the next level, I feel like this has to be like the force to reckon with type thing. So
okay, so the new one is Forced to Score. What type of genre do you do? Do you do hip hop? Do you do rap?
Yeah, I do hip hop music, I do rap. But in Liberia we have our accent, which is colloquial, you understand? So when we brand it in Liberia, we call it hip cool. We call it if you do hip hop music in Liberia, we call it hip cool. And if you do trap music in Liberia, we call it trap cool. If you do drill music, we call it drill cool. So it's like the colloquial, our accent is always in front of the genre. So, but internationally, for everybody to understand, like I'm a rapper, I'm like
okay.
But I like to absorb beats. I just get on any beats,
What inspires you to do music? Is it just the beats, or you put down words somewhere and when you hear a beat you just jump on it?
The fact that I grew up around music, like my life, my dad, wherever he get in the car, he said the first thing is like, I don't start my car if I'm not playing music. You have to play music, you have to be singing the songs over from the kid. And then I have my brothers, so I started listening to old music and the trendy music. So my brothers and my dad, I just grew up listening, and I was a kid, I was just singing all the songs.
Wow.
And my mom was like, why you learn this? Like, so
you have the ear for music.
So I just believe that it was something that it was a part
innate.
of me.
Yeah. So now that you're in Ghana, are you looking forward to doing any collaborations?
Yeah, we're actually working on a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're trying to do the media one to get familiar with the fans and get familiar with the people. But yeah, we're working on a couple of collaborations.
Which artists are you collaborating with?
It's on works now, so I don't think I will have to say it in publicly. Yeah, but we are working on a couple of them. Yeah,
how do people follow your music? Where can they find you?
I'm on all platforms. I'm Apple Music, Spotify, Audio Mac, wherever. It's just search Nuchi Meek, and then you will get me wherever. All platforms. Yeah.
So Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Just search for Nuchi Meek. The latest one is Force to Score.
Yeah.
So now we're forced to celebrate. Let's do some celebrations. Let's go and appreciate how far we have come. But congratulations to you on being Artist of the Year in Liberia. Do you think you win again?
Yeah, sure.
You will, huh?
Yeah.
So now you're the first to reckon.
Yes, like she said, like the first one was a surprise. Like, oh yes, I bet. But now this one got to be intentional. Yeah,
that's the word, being intentional.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for coming. We wish you all the best. Nuchi Meek, he is Liberia's reigning Artist of the Year, and he says he's a force to reckon with. Let's do some celebrations now. This far by grace, happy birthday to you, Jerry Ahmed Schweib. He's a lawyer and the parliamentary candidate for the Wejagbawe constituency for the New Patriotic Party. May your day be filled with love, joy, and divine favor as you mark this day in style. Wejagbawe constituents are indeed proud to have someone special like you. From Jonathan Ojo, polling station secretary, Malem South Electoral Area. This one is a special one going to Princess Diana Akadugu. Happy birthday to you, sis. May God bless you. May God bless everything that you touch. Do have a joyous celebration. So I hand over to my colleague Lantam Papanko. Lantam, we're 10 years at Star FM. How does it feel to be part of this beautiful family?
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You're looking sweet, though.
Thank you very much. Hey, what kind of?
Now
Stop ruining my name. This is Tete.
Thank you for the
correction.
Wilhelmina.
Yes.
Why don't you use the Wilhelmina?
Oh, I use it.
Are you sure?
It's not a name I'm ashamed of.
I
wear it like a crown because my father gave it to me.
All right.
So I absolutely love that.
So you've also been a part of the Star.
running. We promise to do better. We promise to serve you better. In the spirit of celebrations, let's do some more birthdays. So today is the birthday of the Director General of the National Communications Authority, Dr. GHOne. We are blessed to have an inspirational leader like you as our boss. We appreciate and ask for God's grace, blessings and protection for you from the Engineering Division of the National Communications Authority. Happy birthday to you, Dr. GHOne. And later on in the day, you see him on your screens as he will grace our 10 years celebration here at Star FM and the EIB network in general. All right, so I hand you back over to Lantam Papanko. Nadedi Tete is also in the studio to discuss the journey so far of Star FM's 10 years of impact. My name is Lily Mohammed. Bye for now.
It depends on which beans. Yes, but I mean, it's been a wonderful journey.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubts. And I like the tagline: impact, resilience, and showing excellence in broadcasting. And that's a summary of 10 years in the industry, 10 years of showing the way, 10 years of letting people know exactly what radio should sound like, what radio should feel like, and what radio should look like. And so I'm excited for the future beginning today.
Yeah. And you've been doing Start Today, right?
Yes, Start Today.
Why? Mention your name when you are signing out.
No, you see, I like the fact
I like
that,
the way you do.
You know, when
right?
I took over Start Today from Lantam. And so when I joined, I had to come with him to the studio and then watch Lantam do his thing. I was like, hey, so the way the guy they do their team, me I go fit do so.
And Lantam also took over from me.
You'll be boss.
From you. So this is Start Today.
This is Start Today.
Reunion.
Start Today.
Yeah. And we need to add to Tua.
Who has joined now.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's been amazing, and I love the journey. I always say radio is my first love. You know, TV is my side chick, but radio, Charlie, ride or die.
As a deacon, you have a side chick.
TV is my side chick.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm proud to say that. Yeah.
But you are aware
I just wanted to remind everybody that he's a deacon.
Very vibrant. Side chicks are very vibrant.
How do you know?
GHOne is very vibrant.
Lord.
Deacon or what side chick? Hey.
No, but I mean that is it is what it is. I mean, whoever is listening knows that it's the truth.
The truth.
And you need to stand for the truth.
What?
Nothing. But
so you preach in church?
And the guy is still like incriminating himself.
Talking about
Bro, it's okay. It's okay. I need to redeem a brother. It's okay. Don't talk again.
I was about to enter some details.
I beg you.
And ask some questions.
Chill. But Lantam has been wonderful. The journey has been nothing short of wonderful. And for me, that's where the focus should be. That we love.
We have seen your focus shifting tactics. Don't worry, we'll allow you to stand.
We love how Star.
Don't worry, we'll allow you to stand.
We love the sound of Star.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice when you're driving and you're listening to Star.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So what kind of impact would you say Star FM has had on you in these last 2 years that you've been a part of us?
I mean, I think I'll leave that for those who know me to have to say, because they knew me prior to Star and they know me now. The difference is, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, he's wearing a lot more suits these days.
Yeah, he's wearing a lot of Bromont suits. Yeah,
Charlie.
Bromont suits. Hell, fresh boys in the building.
But why is he running?
I don't know where he's running away to. Yeah, but those are your hosts for Star 10. So very shortly, I'll be handing over to them, and they'll take us away. Right? There's a lot coming up on Star FM today, so make sure that you stay tuned. And of course, we're going to be live all throughout the day, making sure that the celebration is massive, making sure that we're giving you nothing but the very best, just like our tagline says, simply the best. One of our friends is seated right in front of me. He is a regular panelist on our shows at Star 103.5 FM. So we can also regard him as a part of the Star FM journey. He usually represents his political party, the New Patriotic Party. He's currently the Director of Communications for the National Disaster Management Organization. And he's in the person of Mr. George A.C. Good morning, Mr. A.C.
Good morning, Lantam.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
It's always a pleasure.
How have you been?
Yeah, I've been good.
We are 10 years old, though. We are celebrating 10 years.
Yes, congratulations.
You've been coming here.
Happy
You've been speaking on our airwaves and all of that.
Yeah.
How do you feel coming here on a day where we are launching our 10th anniversary?
You never told me today is a special day.
Today's a special day.
I
We've
was
caught you off
asked
guard.
by my boss to appear on the show.
We've caught you off
only
guard.
to get here and see that there's a special occasion. And I saw your boss, Bolore.
Yeah.
He's a brand himself. I was happy when I heard the brand's manager,
Of course.
Speaking. And the name Bolore serves as a brand. And you've done very well, especially giving us, the politicians, the platform to relay our message to the Ghanaian people. We appreciate that. And it's good, not only on radio, but on television again, on your network. So we say thank you. I know my General Secretary will say thank you.
Yeah. And thank you too for always honoring our invitation.
Yeah, we
and
came from the Meridian House to this place.
Yes.
I remember I went there. You invited me, and I drove to that place, and I got stranded. Not knowing
we are
relocated to this
we are
place.
moving forward.
And
In life, you have to move forward.
And when the person was directing me, I didn't know it was GHOne
we are here.
premises.
We are here.
But it's
All right.
good. It's good. We're
All right.
making progress. I wish you all the best. Happy 10th anniversary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isi. Also here is the former Member of Parliament for the Buem constituency, the Honorable Daniel Kwesi Ashiama. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, sir. How are
Welcome.
you? Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us here. We are 10 years old. And we can also count you as part of the journey because you've been appearing on our platforms and helping us in our discussions on national issues. So as we're 10 years old today, what is your message for us, Honorable?
Wow. I would say congratulations in the first place. And if there's anything called surprise today, I have no surprise.
Surprises are good. Surprises are good. There are good surprises. This is a good surprise. Lawyer John Twa. Yes. We'll see him around the corner.
I wasn't prepared to come and
fire.
Participate in a outside studio, open air studio, and seeing senior colleagues in Ghana around. Thank you so much for that.
Right.
Little did I know that one day I'll be a participant in Star FM programs 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When I drive through the Nima Highway, I said, wow.
See the Star FM.
These people. So those days, who am I? Who is Daniel? 10 years back to enter Star FM. But thank God today, I am here.
Yeah.
And we thank God for everything. This is what we want every Ghanaian to know, that every business starts in a little steps.
Right.
You move forward continuously, and then we will achieve our aim. If others can do it elsewhere, we can also do it here.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
It's good to see international evangelist Tete here.
Yeah.
He happens to be a friend of my wife, so I always appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, so we're ready. We're ready to start. Honorable Daniel Kwesi Ashiama, thank you very much. Georgia EC, thank you very much. We know you wanted to fire on the OSP, and we know.
So that's why I call it a surprise.
Don't worry, Honorable. There's more time to fire. There's more time to fire. Don't worry, you get all the fire ready. We'll give you time to fire.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too. So we're handing you over to Nadede Tete and Joshua Kujumensa as we're starting the official launch of Star 103.5 FM at 10.
Oh yeah.
sweetness in there.
Yeah.
If you're a regular listener of Morning Star, you know Papa Bisu. Every time is troubling either myself, Francis, Lantam. Yeah. Once you hear Papa Bisu, you know that Charlie Wahala don't start.
Mikra, he's troubled me before.
And with this OSB latest, Papa Bisu is now armed.
Yeah.
Even if the issue does not relate to this Airbus, he will raise it. So that's Papa Bisu in the background there.
One of our ardent listeners on Star 103.5 FM. Papa Bisu, you are welcome. We celebrate you. You've been a part of the journey, and we appreciate you.
And we see DKB also just walked in.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a promising and exciting day. So just stay tuned here. We're also live on Star FM, you know that.
We are.
And GHOne Television, our sister station.
Yeah.
Joshua, what do you have to say?
I mean, that's my side check. I mean, GHOne, my first love is radio. So GHOne would be my very proud and accepted side check. My wife, who is Star, accepts GHOne. And so as for those at the back, I don't care about what they think about it. But that's the beauty of the media house. Not that you're not talking about that. That's the beauty of EIB, Excellence in Broadcasting. Whatever the format is, we have a subsidiary that gives you excellence on that particular platform. And that's what we stand for. And so how many of you have been with the Star brand from day one? 10 years. 10 years.
Where is Ibrahim Alasan?
Okay, I see Papa Bisu's hand up there.
Ibrahim Alasan, where is he? Imano Biko.
But I saw Bola trying to raise his hand, but I mean, how? It's not possible. Where is
Emmanuel
Mr.
Donko? Where is he?
Where is Cox Tamaklo? I have a beef with Cox, and today we'll settle it here.
Apparently.
Don't see my story.
Apparently.
Don't see my story.
He brought, okay.
I'll
leave it.
I have been with Star Brand since 2014.
Hey.
Yes. And you're asking how? Because you only heard me 2 years ago. I brought my CD to Cox, and he told me he would call me.
Till date, he's yet to receive that call.
But that's the beauty of it.
Let me tell you something that happened to me when I was at Class FM.
Today,
I was one of the. I mean, he was also at Class.
No, we are on Star.
And the very first broadcast, I read the breakfast news. Out of nowhere, I said, "Good morning and welcome to Star News," when I had not even thought about coming here.
And you are still wondering how her stay was short there.
So my boss was wondering, what's the problem? Why Star? You are at Class. Maybe I've seen the billboards around, so maybe it was in my head.
And you saw that Fupongo. You saw the camels in town showing exactly what the Star brand is about. But that's what we are celebrating today.
Absolutely.
10 years of impact, 10 years of resilience, and 10 years of excellence in broadcasting. I think it's a good time to put your hands together one more time for Star 103.5 FM. Now, we have heard so many things from people as to their experiences with the Star brand. And I'm sure in the course of the day we'll hear more. But we need to kickstart the program and kickstart with a word of prayer. And Nadide will do us the honors.
Yes, and would like to invite upstage the global evangelist, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, to give us.
Please, let's appreciate the man of God.
A round of applause.
And one of the things I love about him is that he always talks about his beautiful Barbara.
Today, there's no doubt that it has stood out the test of time. I remember how Bola Ray and Cox Tamaklo will bully me to come, coerce me to come, and say everything possible for me to be on Star FM. And I must say, 10 years on, congratulations. Congratulations. I was very excited when my prodigal daughter, Nanaya, came to join the team here. And I'm just thrilled with what God is doing with Star FM. Shall we pray? We are going, heavens knows where we are going. We know we will. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know. And the road will be muddy and rough, but we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. This is my prayer this morning. That we are going. Heaven knows where we are going. And we know we will. It will be hard, we know. The road will be muddy and rough. But we will get there. It will be hard, we know. And the road will be muddy and rough, but we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. Father, you have been our source of inspiration in the many years past, these 10 years past. And we know without a shred of doubt in our minds, on our minds, and with our hearts, that you be our hope for the days to come. I bring before you the leadership of the entire group. And even the many men and women, boys and girls, old and young, educated and uneducated, those who spoke good and bad, we bring all before you. And we thank you that 10 years on, Star FM is still kicking. I pray that just as you have been our source of inspiration in the many years past, you also be our hope to come. We sing in thanking you that to God be the glory, great things he has done, so loving the world that he get. You guys should sing very well. Come and stand here and sing with me. Oh, Jesus, there is nothing atonement for sin. My choir, and open their life. They come, Joshua. All the bad things in you, I cast it out today. I restore you and sanctify you to be godly in every aspect, even dressing. To God be the glory, great things he has done.
So loved he the world that he gave us his son, who yielded his life an atonement for sin, and opened the life gate that all may go in.
Praise the Lord, and let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory. Great things he has done.
Now, thank you, my choir. You can sit down. My message this morning after this prayer is simple. Psalm 103, Psalm 105. First, Psalm 106 says, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Bola Ray, 7 things I want to live with you today. Number 1, all of you, starting from you to the least person here, we should not forget our God. If we want to go on, we should not forget our God. In the entire nation of Ghana, if we want to succeed, from His Excellency the President to the least person here, we should not forget our God. In every subsidiary, every institution, we should not forget our God. Number 2, we should count our blessings and name them one by one. And at least, Ghanaians, those songs you sang it, count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has. But Larry, don't you sit back some time and ask yourself how you survive all this time? The attack, the persecution, the lies, the gossip, the undermining, the scheming. How you even survive people who left and are no more with you. If it had not been for the Lord, where would we have been today? There are stations that began around the time you did that are nowhere close to you anymore. So number 3, don't forget what the Lord has done. Don't you ever forget what the Lord has done, because but for the Lord, where would we have been? And in our thanking, in our celebration, in our launching, in our going out to thank God for these 10 years, we should remember what the Lord has done. Tell somebody, remember. At least pick 2 things he has done. Oh my God, some people by now, they would have been speaking in shame. They would have been speaking in want. They would be speaking in despair. But you sit down publicly. It must be a success story for you to celebrate it.
Absolutely.
Number 4, remember those who stood with you. It's very easy as Ghanaians. We do that a lot. The people who stood with us when we were nobodies, when we attained a situation, a position, and a class, we forget them. But Bolare, I'm addressing you. Use your position to make friends. There are a lot of politicians in Ghana. They don't use their position to make friends. They use their position to make enemies. There are a lot of journalists in Ghana. They don't use their position, their media stations to make friends. They use their media station to make enemies. There are a lot of opinion leaders. There are a lot of judges and doctors and lawyers and preachers in Ghana. They don't use their position to make friends. There are a lot of police people at the police headquarters. They use their position to make enemies instead of making friends. Use your position, regardless of who you are, to make friends. Because every position we all hold here is transient. President Rawlings, where is he today? Where is President Kufuor today? Where is President Atamils today? Where is President Mahama today? Where would President Nanado be in January? So whether NPP comes or NDC comes, whatever, or CPP, or there's one young man that I've seen his billboard in town. Freedom. Chida, even if he become a president, anybody can become a president in Ghana. The only person who doesn't want to be a president in Ghana is Lawrence Tete. I feel very sorry for the presidents. Everybody will insult you. They'll tell you what sickness killed your mother, your grandfather, where your great-grandfather come from, where you come from. I don't want to be a president. I want to be a preacher of the gospel. That's why you get away with everything. But the most important thing is that don't you ever use your position today. And the position and the blessing Star FM has attained, we shouldn't use it to victimize people and undermine people's hard-won reputation. We should use it to meet friends. I am here today, Bolare, because of how friendly you are. Because of how accessible you are. But I'm here today because even if you meet me at a state function, you come. And that in Kramahobra say buying small to me, it works. Even though my wife is a senior, my wife was the first girls prefect in Accra Academy where he went to school. Yeah, Barbara went to a Brig Girls from Form 1 to Form 5 and went to 6th Form in Accra Academy. And the year she went to 6th Form was when they had the biggest intake of women. So the first time a girl became a school prefect in Accra Academy, it was my, I married her. When we're having our marriage in London and doing the wedding, the Accra boys came. I remember Ceylon asked me if he can do the opening dance with my wife. He said, Benjamin, if you are you finoche? But this is important. Bola, your demeanor, your relations, and even the way you keep a smile has kept most people attracted to this station. And I'd say it's not of place if we clap for him. Even though he's pretending he doesn't like it, he like it. See, he's laughing more. He's even laughing. Put the camera on. He's laughing more than he was laughing. But hear me, that is what it's all about. Your personality has kept this going. And we should learn from that. Let's use our relationships. Let's use our position to make friends and not enemies. And I say this to all Ghanaians. And we should also know, Bolare, you will not be here forever. So the time that you are here, Nanaya, and all of you, the time that you are here, use it to make friends and not enemies. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says we should use our wealth and our position and our class and our personality to win friends and not enemies.